Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video in the Tiny Tech video series. As you know by now, this video series focuses on short bits of technology that you can use in your class, whether you're online, Eve, or even face-to-face class, or in other aspects of your professional life. So for this week, we're looking at the opportunities to take advantage of free stock image and video websites. You might recall a little time back, I did a video about stock audio clips, and these are clips that you can add either if you're using sound effects or even you want what we call a music bed, which is like an underlying bit of music or sound that you can use to introduce a topic. You can use that for your title screen or your closing credits or whatever. So the usefulness of these resources, the audio clips, and then also the stock images and video will be based on your own media needs. If you're doing a flyer, if you're doing something with creating a video for your class, for your committee, whatever that happens to be, you could find some of this to be very valuable in terms of creating media that looks pretty stunning and doesn't break the bank in terms of having to pay for this stuff. So to start off with, we'll look at some actually partial or full pay sites. So I'm not necessarily recommending you go to any of these, but I've used a couple of these in the past and they're really high quality. In fact, right now, I do have a pro account version of Canva, and I've talked about Canva in a lot of other videos. So definitely refer to my previous videos if you want to get some insights on all the power of using Canva. It's by far my favorite, absolute favorite graphic design tool I have anywhere, including even on my computer, certainly on the internet. I use it all the time to make really, I think, attractive video clips that I can use in this case for like a title screen or something of that nature. And these are all using stock templates or video clips. And what's cool about Canva is, again, if you don't have the pro account, you won't get as many free results. But I can type any topic in like anthropology up here in the search bar. And if you're at this stage, you'll want to click on the elements. That's where everything's going to come up. And then at that point, you can choose from free audio, videos, graphics, or photos. So like if I like this particular clip here, which is a video clip, and I wanted to use that, I could immediately put that inside of my project, and I already have this. I didn't have to go out and actually shoot this video. So it's one of the best things about stock video is the fact that you can actually use this stuff and quickly implement it, get a very professional look to something, and not have to do a lot on your own. So it's one of the reasons I really recommend some of these websites to you. So Canva is free. If you have the free version, again, you won't get as many choices that come up, whether it's a video, an audio clip, or a stock image. So keep that in mind. Now, I haven't used this particular site here. This is iStock. It's maybe one of the biggest out there, and this is by Getty. So two things you know. One, it's going to have incredible quality because, you know, Getty does some of the great best photography and video graphic work in the world. Because of that, it's the second point is it's going to be expensive. Now, you can click on the free photo of the week. And you can, you know, if you want this, I don't know if you really wanted someone with a mud mask, click on free download and you have that available. They may ask you to actually set up an account with them. So this is really full-fledged. And again, I'm not recommending this because it's so expensive. The other thing you get into is sometimes you have licensing issues that happens, whether with still photography or video or even audio. So the best bet is really to go to these free sites I'm going to be talking about today. But I wanted to give you a sense of what these are like as well. And this is a website called Dreamstime. And they have, just like iStock, all sorts of different audio files, video, illustrations, graphic files, stock photos, editorial, etc. So this is also very powerful. Again, I'm recommending you don't necessarily use this unless you need it for some work, but it would require a subscription price. This is one of the best pricing websites I've seen out there in terms of at least downloading video. There's also going to be a difference you'll notice in whether or not you have access to a 4K clip, which is really higher quality, versus a 1080p, which is kind of standard or rather high definition in the world of Mac and also PC video. So, you know, it's a great site. Again, you do have to pay for it. And then lastly, another one I've heard about, which could be interesting for people that want something really artsy looking. These are super well done. It's a site called ArtGrid. And what I like about this is just they don't look as maybe traditional or kind of campy or cheesy as some stock video websites that you might see. Now, like anything else, you could type in a topic. So if you type in a keyword, You see what comes up. The search engines are often not perfect because I wouldn't necessarily think of anthropology and then seeing, an astronaut. But when you look at some of these clips, they're super well done. Some of these might be motion graphics. They may not necessarily all be created, say, in an actual outdoor setting. But, with the lens flare you see here, the bokeh, and just, this astronaut, you can tell someone spent a lot of time on this. So really cool if you want to get in something professional, maybe for some of your work that lies beyond the needs of these free sites. So what I'm going to do in this video on our YouTube here is link to this or send it out with my update so that you get a sense of how to find all these sites. So after this first 4, you're going to get into the free stock image and video websites. Not going to go through all these. What I tried to do was look at sites that maybe had a specific focus. For example, Splitshire is one where they focus a lot on nature, the outdoors, and it's actually one creator, which is pretty crazy. So one photographer, videographer who did everything. So all the equipment they use is going to be standard or have a consistent look to it. And also the kind of eye, if you will, the artistic eye of the creator then is allowing for consistency across media if that's something that interests you. If you want to just zoom backgrounds, you could look at this site here. Life of Vids is one that focuses on business and marketing, green screen videos, and so forth. So I'll just show you one of these just to give you a sense of what you're getting into. So Pixabay. And I have to tell you, the way that this came up actually was I was doing a project, and specifically this was one of my music videos outside of my LTCC work, and I was looking for some freely available images of microbes, specifically kind of, doing a COVID themed piece here, interspersing with some of my own footage. And I found some great examples, and I'll just try to scroll to these. Like this is one where I found, and that was totally free for me to use, royalty free, really high professional value to it. I didn't pay a cent for this. And in a lot of cases, you want to check your website to see if there's attribution requirements. Certainly Creative Commons, video and image websites, you could also go that route as well. But all I had to do really was click on here. Again, 2.5 million high quality stock images, videos, and music shared by a community. So it's like this open source movement that's been really powerful here. At LTCC as we've talked about open source textbooks and zero costs and all that. So I typed COVID-19 and check this out. These are all freely available either graphics or they could be photography, or they could be videos. And generally, I think there's a way that they indicate the type of file. Or at the top, you can click on category. So if I only wanted a certain maybe keyword, I could click that. But as an example, let's see here if this is a video or image. And it's pretty easy. So this one is an image. I would just click free download, and it's going to be a JPEG file. So if I wanted the highest resolution, 5.5 megs, click a download, and that is it. And they'll usually tell you, in this case, crediting is not required, but linking back is appreciated, allows image authors to gain exposure. And so this is one way that you can copy that and give that attribution in your video or your flyer, whatever that you might be creating. So in this case, what I didn't do is I didn't click video, and now I have some of these, and that's that very clip I downloaded. So I found that, I thought that looks pretty good. It's a decent resolution. You're not going to get 4K in a lot of these cases, but if I click on free download, I can choose the highest quality MP4 file. That appears, and then I can drag that into whatever program or application I might want to use to create my video. So I just really encourage you, if you're looking for stock video, if you're looking for stock images, footage, whatever you happen to be doing, check out some of these websites. Again, I gave you the first one here, Pixabay. These other ones are excellent and really good as well. One warning about this is in a few cases, strangely enough, you might click around on one of these sites and you find a really cool image or video that you like, and it actually will take you to iStock or maybe even Dreamstime. And it's kind of funny because it's a free site, but then they're also linking to other paid sites. So sometimes you don't have as much content as you think, and you discover you might have to pay for something. What I recommend in that case then is not to click on those and feel like you have to pay for that image or video, but go back to the freely available ones. There are so many here. Like if you needed a generic hand washing or masking video, this is even 4K, so really super nice resolution for us. You click download, and you can see it's a little larger, about 93 megabytes. So if you needed a video of a woman putting on a mask, it could be even for one of your social media clips, maybe some of you at the college that are trying to really bring out freely available resources and use those to do something in an update, say on Facebook or whatever, Coyote Corner, this is one way of doing that. And let's talk offline about how to do the next step. So step 1 is finding the image or video that you want to use. Step 2 is going to be bringing that into some application, a graphic program, a flyer program like Canva, as we talked about, or even a video editing program. So if you get stuck on step 2, talk to me. I've seen probably most applications to work with, whether it's Photoshop, whether it's Motion for video, or Final Cut Pro, or some other programs out there. So let's talk offline, because indeed I think you might be interested in using some of these resources, particularly since they are free, easy to download, no attribution to use necessarily in your giving of credit, and in all cases royalty-free, and there are no restrictions of using these. And I think it's one of the most wonderful things about sort of that internet community of folks who want to share media and other content freely with others out in the world. So that is going to be it today for this Tiny Tech video, here talking about freely available stock video, audio, and of course video files that you might use in any of your professional or teaching projects. So thanks for listening, and there'll be more videos here in the Tiny Tech video series.